So your company had to downsize, or maybe they just had to fire a bunch of people to maintain profits, and now you do not have a job. You have lost your job. What should you do? That's what we're going to talk about today. So we're going to talk about what most people should do, and then we're going to talk about what I would do. And those are two very different things. So let's get started here. You've lost your job, you got fired, you're down on yourself. That's awesome. I know if you've lost your job right now, me saying awesome, you're probably like, what the hell are you talking about? Trust me, this is when your journey to success starts. When this bad stuff happens to you, there's two kinds of people. The one where when bad stuff happens, they use that as an excuse and they stay down the rest of their lives. That's 80% of people. Now you want to be part of that 20%. That when bad stuff happens to you, you rise up. I mean, I've talked about every single entrepreneur book I've read usually starts with some sort of downturn in their life, whether it's getting fired, whether it's not liking their job, whether it's getting dumped. Right? For me, it was getting dumped and getting sick at the same time in the hospital. And everyone has those down moments. Okay? And so if you've just been fired, if you've just been laid off, it's awesome. Because you're going to become successful if you're part of that 20% of people. Now you got to think positive. This is not a law of attraction thing, but you got to be positive, you got to be motivated. Right now, this is the perfect timing. Okay? So we're going to talk about what you should do. We're going to do through all the classical stuff that you should do. And then we're going to talk about what I would do. All right, so financially, here's what you should do. First thing is check for severance. Obviously, check for severance. You will know if you get severance. Severance, so yeah, if you get fired, usually you get paid for a few months, 3 months. Sometimes, I've heard someone I know close to me, 6 months. Sometimes it's 8 months, sometimes it's 1 month. So if you have severance and you get paid full salary or 70% of salary, 50%, then that's good, okay? So make sure that you try to get severance if you can. Number 2 is, this is only if it's needed. Only if it's needed. If you are dead broke, and you need money for food and rent, then go apply for unemployment. This is a thing for me which I know some people really need. It's just something that I wouldn't do personally. I mean, for me, I would find a way to make more money somewhere else. But if you really need it, need money to eat, maybe you have kids, a spouse that relies on you, so on, go file for some unemployment, pick up whatever it is, $100, $400, I don't even know what it is, $100 to $1,000 to $2,000 a month. I don't know what it is, but make sure you go pick that up. It could be the difference between, your family starving versus, you actually having food on the table. So go check for unemployment. You can do that online for the most part, and then you have to go into the office. So number 3, so here's more of a question. Do you have money saved up? This goes along the lines with unemployment. So how much money do you have? So, Dave Ramsey, he always says, have an emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of your income. Do you have that? Most people don't, which is why I'm probably not going to talk about this very much. But if you have savings, then that's definitely, it's going to lead into some other stuff I'm going to talk about here. So check your savings, check for, you know what the next thing here is? Check what happens to your 401k. And then what can happen is actually if you withdraw that 401k, it can actually be paid to you as a lump sum. And so that can become your savings for the next 3 or 6 months. I don't recommend that because if you're 40, 50 years old, obviously you need your 401k if you especially haven't started a business or have any other investments. But if you're 25 years old and you have 5 to 10 grand in your 401k, it might be worth taking that out and just putting it into your savings. It might be worth it. You can also carry that over into a new plan, sometimes a Roth IRA and so on. But check your 401k plan. Make sure that doesn't just sit there. I've heard stories where people don't even bother to check what happens to their savings from their old company. It'll happen for years. Some people leave hundreds of thousands of dollars there. So make sure you check what happens with your savings plan here. Maybe you can bring that over into your savings. So number 5. Oh, wait, sorry. I think I must have, no, we're going to keep moving on here. Buckle down on spending. If you just lost your job and your income is significantly cut down, maybe you're not getting paid after you got fired for a little bit, make sure that you cut out a lot of your stupid expenses. So I'm talking about, what do I have here? Cut cable, don't eat out, all the basic stuff. Cell phones, you don't need those to survive, despite what you think. You don't even need internet, to be honest. Although if you're watching this, it might be good to keep your internet. But cut out all the stupid expenses. Don't eat that expensive food. Go on, I usually don't agree with a lot of Dave Ramsey's advice, but if you get fired, go live on a rice and beans diet. That's what it'll take. I mean, to be honest though, I still eat canned beans for lunch. I just like them. And they're pretty cheap. They're under $1 a can. I like them. You'll probably like them. So, just go on a rice and beans diet. Cut out all the stupid stuff just so that you can extend your savings and extend the amount of time that you can live to find your next job, which is also the next point that I should make here. Is actually, you know what? We're going to move on to that. That'll be number 7. Number 6 will be sell. I don't want to use this word assets, but we're going to use it. Sell assets if needed. If you don't have a lot of money saved up, you maybe have $1,000. Maybe you have $1,000. You can only live for 1 month. You don't have any severance for some reason. Then sell your Xbox. Sell your PlayStation. Sell your car. Sell stuff so that you have food on the table to live. That's important. I mean, I know some people I know actually one person specifically that sold their gaming system to do that specifically because they just lost their job. They were still able to get a couple $100 for it, even though I think it was a PS3. And this was a few years ago though. So they were able to collect $200 off it. And still, that $200, that's, for some people, if you're on a rice and beans diet, that's a month of groceries. So that can be a lot. Sell your major assets if you really need money. And don't be too emotionally attached to it. You'll need it to live. You need it to live, guys. So sell your car, sell your whatever, only if you need to. Only if you need to. So we're going to move on to number 7 here. So number 7 is technically should be number 1 or number 2 or 3. But start looking. Look for a job. Just look for a job. I mean, there's tons of sites for this. If you want to go online, we're talking about monster.ca, LinkedIn, you can even do it sometimes. Indeed.com has job postings, or you could just do the classical thing and walk around your local, area, your local market, your local super center plaza, whatever, and just look for help wanted signs. You might have to be a pizza driver for a pizza delivery driver for a few months. Suck up your pride. You need to pay the bills. So what? Now I want pizza. No, I've been very good on my diet recently. I need to start losing some weight here. So be a pizza delivery driver, okay? Take those crappy jobs until you find a main job. If you're making $50K a year, just be a pizza delivery driver and make at least $1,000 a month or $1,500 a month just to bring in something. Get a job somewhere. Become a cashier, right? In Canada, cashiers can make well over 20 grand a year. Some make 30, okay? So suck up your pride, get a crappy job until you find a better one. Now we're gonna go here to, here's what I would do. Here's number 8. Your own business. So this specifically if you have savings for 6 months to a year, or you get severance for 6 months, this is the perfect time to start a business. And this is not advice that everyone wants to hear, but when you are losing money and when you are becoming broke, you will never be more motivated in your life to start a business. If you want to become rich, if you want to become wealthy, that's what it's going to need to take most of the time, to start your own business. And I'm telling you, I like making myself poor. This is one thing that I find from all of the online entrepreneurs that you hear in YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and stuff, talk about Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, even Ty Lopez, even though he's a little bit sketchy. Even a lot of the younger people that are kind of like me, they like making themselves poor. What do I mean by that? So if I were to make in a month 8 to 10 grand or 12 grand or something like that, sure, a few $1,000s living expenses, sure. And then if I have 7 grand left over, let's say, 7 grand taxes and all that stuff, 7 grand left over, I'll probably use 6 of it to make myself poor. I'll use 6 of it to invest in, either stocks or put it in something where I can't access the money. Put it in like stocks, put it in advertising costs, put it in something else that'll help everything grow into the future. I make myself poor. Why? Because it motivates me. It motivates me to make more money today. And so I tell you guys this, like I don't like having more than a few $1,000s in my checking account. Like I like being motivated right now. Now I don't even know if I have more than $1,500 in my checking account right now because I just like making myself poor. That's what motivates me. And so if you lose your job, if you get unemployed and you see your bank account start to go down and you want to start a business, that is the best time to start one. You'll wake up every day and you'll want to work 10 hours. You'll want to do it to make money because you got to live, you got to eat. So that's what I would do if I lost my job. I've never been fired before. Keep that in mind. I've never been fired before. Every job that I've been to, I've been a very good worker, right? And then I eventually got to quit my job because my side businesses all took off at the same time. So, but what I'm trying to say here is that, I've been broke though. Here's where I can relate to everyone here that's lost a job. So, I've been broke. I've been sick. So this was 3 years ago. I think I've told a lot of you this story, was that, when I got sick, when I had double organ failure and couldn't work and I got dumped at the same time, it was a bad 6 months. Actually, I started to rebound after 4 or 5 months, but it was pretty much a bad 6 months to 1 year where I didn't make any money apart from passive income that I had from, YouTube and stocks and so on, but I wasn't making any money. My bank account was going down every single month. And yeah, I didn't have a job. And so that was the perfect time to start my businesses, to put all my effort into them again. Start learning about business. That's when I started reading nonfiction books, started looking at courses, started learning how to launch products, started looking at how to get clients, started looking at how to get into the real estate business, how to sell real estate, how to call people, how to talk to people. That's what motivated me. Becoming poor and being down on life, that is the perfect time because you'll never be more motivated to get out of that state of broke and sad. All right? So that's what I would do. I would try to start my own side business. So could that be for you? It could be tutoring. I know the one person I think I mentioned in a previous video who said I couldn't have that life of not knowing when your next sale or paycheck is coming in or whatever. She couldn't do that. Okay? I can. I can, but think about that, like whatever your field is, if you want to be a teacher, you can be a tutor, your own private tutor, you can do online courses, those have been big recently, right? If you're a musician, you can make YouTube videos about music, right? You can make your own music, put it on Spotify. If you want to be a science person, maybe you can again do tutoring or YouTube, to be honest. Those are two pretty key avenues there. You can be like a Neil deGrasse Tyson type. You can make yourself a public speaker. You can do anything. Whatever your field is, there is a way to monetize it and become self-employed and to start your own business, unless it's like illegal or terrible or so on. So that's what I'm trying to say here. This is the perfect time to start your business. I'll end it on this. The Power of Broke. A book by Damon John of Shark Tank. I read it. Really good book. Really good book. So what he pretty much explains is he did the exact same thing as me. Every single entrepreneur on Shark Tank did this too. Making yourself broke and being broke is usually, if you get motivated when you are in that state, that's a really good sign that you will be a successful entrepreneur and a successful investor, successful salesman, successful so forth. Successful whatever. If you can take, when you are at rock bottom, when you lose your job, when you get dumped, when you get sick, when you do all that stuff, and you get motivated because of that, you're going to become successful. You will. It might not be in the next 3 months, it may not be in the next 6 months, maybe not a year, maybe not even 5 years. Some people it takes a decade. Some people, like Colonel Sanders, it took him 3 decades. He didn't start his successful KFC chain until he was like 50 something. So everyone has a different time frame, but it is a sign that you'll become successful if you can be motivated when life throws shit at you. And that's where I'm going to wrap this video up. So I'd like to thank you very much for watching. You're all very beautiful people. You can check out my courses. I have some courses. Check that out in the link below. The Wealth Accelerator is more related to this video, I guess, about how to build your own side business, what it takes. So a lot of the stuff I talked about in really big detail, it's kind of like a step-by-step thing of what I did to build my side businesses, whether it's online or clients or consulting, real estate stuff. It's what I did specifically. So go check that out in the link below. There's also a stock market course, which I've been updating a lot recently, so you can see my portfolio, what I invest in, and so on and so forth. So thank you very much for watching. You're all very beautiful people, and I'll see you guys in the next video.